Hey, JMTV audience, it's show number 109, more or less. It's more than 109 weeks. Like last week, we took the week off, so I don't know, 112 weeks, but it's show 10.
I think we've probably missed at least 4.
Yeah, 3 or 4. Yeah, right.
But not much more than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not more than that. But it wasn't a lot. Like
no.
Yeah.
It wasn't like your minimum 2 weeks of vacation number of shows.
We get to go to sabbatical after next year. Yeah.
And at the end, when the anthropologists are digging us up, when all this is done, they'll ask themselves,
right? Why even do it? The pandemic must have been awful. Oh God!
What were they thinking? Why?
Oh, God. What are they drinking? I got a dark and stormy tonight.
Oh, that's nice.
With a flamingo with Goslings.
Come on, Will. What do you got?
I have a dark and fizzy. I got dark and fizzy tonight.
Diet Coke?
Yeah, Diet Coke.
Man.
That's it. That
right,
drink of men all over. Yeah.
I got a diet. First of all, I got a flamingo. Forget about being a man, right? And second of all, not that there's anything wrong with that, but second of all, I've got diet Goslings, right? Diet, not the rum, but the dark and stormy, the ginger beer is diet. So there you go.
Okay, this is just wrong.
It's like
if there's alcohol in it, you got the sugar content. Whatever you're doing, it isn't going to change anything.
I got rum. Actually, I got British Navy rum. It's a disaster over here.
I do want to. You said the magic, as they said in Groucho. Say the magic word and win yourself some money. You said flamingo. That was the magic word. Someone told me a story yesterday about like a fox that got into a zoo and got into the flamingo cage and ate like 75 of them.
Wow.
And it was a big time zoo. It wasn't San Diego, but it was like a major metropolitan zoo. And
was it their fox or was it like a outside fox?
It was Red Fox. No, I don't know who it was. I don't think it was their fox. I don't think it was their fox, because that would be a guy who escaped and then put himself back in the jail, which is what Steve McQueen did that in The Great Escape. He escaped, got info, and then got caught again on purpose.
But you know that the animals are eyeballing each other at the zoo. They're like, I'm going to get out of this cage and come over there, get into your cage and murder you, son of a bitch,
Yeah. That sounds like my neighbors. I've been rehearsing a lot lately, and suddenly I'm noticing they're playing instruments, and they've never played music before. So, and I know it's because of me. They're like, God, that guy is really starting to get on my nerves.
Let's go to Goodwill and get the worst instrument we can find, so we can attack Will.
Have you inspired them? And you're going to be the Reuben Kincaid to their,
You've given them the gift of music.
Reuben Kincaid.
Maybe they sit there going, "Fuck, if he can do it anyway," It's
bad.
Reuben Kincaid. He was on the Partridge Family, right? He was the
manager. Reuben Kincaid.
Yeah.
He was the guy that today, they would be casting aspersions at him today.
He would be
really all those trips with
What's he doing hanging out with all those kids?
Yeah. That would be dangerous territory.
I was thinking, when this is number 109, and I was thinking of as a grade school kid, I'm in elementary school, I'm sure, and the book Profiles in Courage was a big book, and JFK was considered, and at very least an energizing factor in politics that you got the choice between Ike or Dick Nixon or JFK. JFK played touch football. It's like, okay, I'm with this guy. I don't know anything about anything, but his PT 109 experience was really one of the first times that people worked hard to debunk like what would have been accepted as a sort of heroic story at one point, and people worked really hard to sort of turn it into like, well, he didn't really do this, and he shouldn't have been doing that, and at night they should have said this, and they should have, it was like It was like early on. It was like before Kerry and before Swift boats and all that
Swift
crap.
boats, yeah. So PT 101 wasn't Swift boats. No, that was Kerry. But so let me ask you a question. So the president that you first remember, who was that?
Well, I mean, the president I first remember was Eisenhower. I do remember that. And, but the president that first interested me was Kennedy. My family was totally Republican, and but I mean, Nixon was like, he was kind of frightening looking, he was, he really did look like Dan Hedaya, the guy who played him later on in movies. Like he really had that kind of dark look to him. And I guess, I guess his 5 o'clock shadow hit at about 11 a.m., I think he had to shave like 3 or 4 times a day just to not look like, a monster.
Yeah.
Right. Well, bad news, because I first remember Nixon, right?
Yeah. Wow.
But then really Carter. Was Carter right after Nick? No, well, Ford.
76.
Ford,
He was
yeah.
76.
Yeah,
Ford.
so Carter was my first president that I was actually aware of, like what it meant or any of that.
Yeah.
And he was generally liked, wasn't he, Jimmy Carter?
Well, they criticized him for actually using a French word to describe the state of mind of the country. He used, and as we all know, freedom fries, like he used the word malaise, and he spoke that the country was in a bit of a malaise, which truly we were, but you can't say that,
Right.
And then the guy that came after him, benefited from 1980 hockey win against the Russians, so that helped a lot of stuff because the jingoism was off the charts after that. It was just
But see, Reagan was tremendously, I guess what I was getting at about Kennedy and about Nixon, like Nixon was hated and then liked, right? Like he was terribly hated to the point where my good friend Jim Niceto, who's no longer with us, trained his dog Henry to attack on the word Nixon. I swear to God, right? He'd go Nixon, and the dog would go right, he would attack you. But like, so Kennedy was generally liked, like most people liked him or not? Was it always 50?
Yeah.
I would say he was
Camelot.
generally liked.
Yeah, Camelot, definitely. He was loved. He
Right.
was loved
he brought Dwight Eisenhower, was a hero of World War II. Dwight Eisenhower did so much infrastructure stuff. Dwight Eisenhower, built the highway systems and he did all this stuff. Dwight Eisenhower was also a guy who warned against the military industrial complex, even though he was a military guy. So to me, those are the people you listen to. You listen to people who are anti-war, who have fought in wars.
Right.
You listen to people who are anti-business, who have been in business.
But he was boring, right? Nobody liked him because he was a bore. Wasn't that it?
I don't know. He played golf, but he just had that. He didn't have a great look. His look was kind of Tim Conway kind of thing, except older by a lot. He looked like Y.A. Tittle of the Giants, the quarterback who.
Kennedy was I had the impression he was very popular, Camelot and Beautiful Wife and this kind of thing. But he was jacked up on steroids because of his back, and so he was like that was why he was kind of known as a womanizer. And why he had endless energy and but like apparently at the White House you weren't allowed to go anywhere near the pool between 3 and 4 and don't ask.
Well, and I think if I'm not mistaken, the back injury originated from PT 109.
That is correct.
It was an injury that he sustained there. Yet people still crapped on, well, they shouldn't have been done that. They shouldn't have been, they should have seen the boat coming and they should have done it, But what they did was they humanized the White House and they kind of emphasized the word house. It was like a house and the kids were playing and the dogs, you got to know their names and, and they played football for Christ's sake, it was like, that's fun. And if you're going to philander, let's make it Angie Dickinson and Marilyn Monroe, okay? That's a lot different than Monica Lewinsky. I'm sorry.
Who was Eisenhower getting? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, well, and why?
He was with Mamie.
Who would
the wife?
No, but you know what? You always have this image, like when you're a kid, like you got Alibaba and the 40 Thieves and whatnot, and you've got the like the Sultan, and he's like, "Bring me 1,000 women right now!" Right? You're like, you're the Lord of the world, and you're like going to get whatever you want. In America, it was like, of course, the president of the United States gets Jackie O and Marilyn Monroe and he's the president. But
Yeah.
now that's highly frowned upon. Like you don't,
Right.
you're not getting.
It seems to be. It
Yeah.
seems
Can't get away with that.
but it's frowned upon in like the most hyper hypocritical way. And again, just like watch out for people who never served who say we should fight in wars. Watch out for people who complain about sexual mores. Like check their business, because
Right.
I swear to God, 7 out of 10 of the people who complain about things end up getting caught later on, and somehow
Jesse Jackson and what
somehow that doesn't make headlines. It doesn't really stick. And I feel bad. I feel bad about Clinton Bill, because I liked him in a million ways.
Right.
There were a million things I liked about him, and he just couldn't freaking keep the thing inside his pants was his problem. And it was like, in a lot of other ways, he did a tremendous amount of things, and this was also a world. He was in a world where if one helicopter goes down, and now we're out of Somalia. Like one helicopter goes down. Like this is how much people know about warfare. One helicopter goes down, and that's enough to make us question a whole foreign policy towards Somalia. Like we got to get our asses the fuck out of here. And it's like it was one helicopter, and I'm not demeaning the people or the helicopter, but this is war. Eisenhower, made the call to have people hit the beaches at Normandy. That's a huge burden and a huge responsibility.
Absolutely.
And he took that upon himself, and he did it. Nobody sat there and second guessed him and said, like, you could have done it in a way so like 1,000 less people got killed. It was like, ball on the prize.
Yeah, right. You did what you had to do. And Eisenhower's an interesting guy because he set up and ran a program. I think it was called the Corona program, which was a spy satellite that was a space station. It's not a lot of people know about this. They had high resolution movie cameras in orbit, and the way they got the film, there was no like radios and digital cameras and stuff like that. The way they got the film is the camera would output this big roll of high resolution film, and it would like parachute down with like a re-entry thing, and they get it with a ship or something, right? And he kept that a secret, and they like knew everything about the Soviet missile program. And Eisenhower, like he nailed it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think about the Cuban Missile Crisis. I was in 6th grade, okay? And the photos were good. Like the photos, you literally look. There's a missile. There's a missile. There's
guys going, hey,
from like U2s, I guess.
Or from the Corona program, and they said, oh yeah, U2 was probably a cover program for the Corona. I ironically called the Corona. Yeah,
right. I mean, I read a biography of Eisenhower, and it was very interesting. There was a lot of stuff in there I didn't know, because why would I know it? I mean, when he was out of office, I was 9 years old. So it didn't really mean that much to me.
Right.
But as we all know, and as has been said many times on this show and in other shows, when I was born, Truman was president.
Right. That's Jim Carrey in that movie, right?
From the Truman Show.
It's a little different than that. It was more let's drop the atom bomb and then let's fight in North Korea.
Right. But now, like presidential politics is was it always just horribly ugly? Like we hate him, we want him dead, and we love him, he's amazing. Like what?
No, I don't think it was.
No, I don't think it was either.
I mean, I think in general, governance was what it was supposed to be. It was people working together generally to make compromises. And you would have people that in every other way seem to be diametrically opposed to each other in terms of idioms and ideologies and all that. And they would, there's a lot of shit that went on in back rooms and all that. That's government, Right. They would get up on the floor of the House or the Senate, and they would go, well, I know you feel strongly, my colleagues, about such and such, but have you considered this? And they'd be like, oh my God, he's right. We got to vote that way, But now, forget it. Like, they don't even debate. Don't even bother. It was nastier. I think it was nastier in the 1860s. I think it was nastier then.
I will kill
then a guy might,
do a duel. Yeah.
If a guy didn't like the cut of your jib, he might just hit you over the head a couple of times with his walking stick.
Right, right.
It was more like British Parliament,
they got
Korean.
the mace in the Senate. They have a mace or something that they used to, like the speaker has the mace and he can like beat you with it.
Well, it's
I
like
swear to you.
you ever watch like there's always like crazy stuff that happens like in Asian government thing, like whatever their version of Congress or Parliament is. Every once in a while there's just two guys just go at it like it's a fucking Bruce Lee movie. They're just like crazy, just hitting each other. And
I went to a princely boarding school in Switzerland for 1 year when I was a kid. And I swear to you, and we had to take a cable car. It was like a Wes Anderson movie. You had to take a cable car to the top of the mountain to this place, right? And we had two kids. They were the children of the leaders of two tribes in Nigeria. So one was a Nigerian prince, like the one that's like needs your bank account number, that guy. And his name was Tio Fagbuna. And his father sat in parliament as the leader of his tribe with a spear, like with a robe and a spear. And all his guys had spears, and they stood in parliament with their spear. And the other guys were in their Armani suits with their jets and whatnot. They were modernized, but a third of the country was not, and they hated each other. Like they would lunge at each other and attack each other. That's government.
Wow. Yeah. Well, now it's so toxic now that, the problem is that through gerrymandering and redistricting and all this kind of stuff, the popular numbers don't really matter. It's just basically a 50-50 crapshoot now, right. So, right. It doesn't matter that in reality, if it was one man, one vote, it would be a different story. It would actually work out in a different way. Right. But
they
now
don't want that. They don't want it to be. They want to predict what's going to happen.
Well, people talk about like disparity and minimizing people and all this stuff. God, when this country was founded on a thing where, if you had a powdered wig, you had one vote. If you had a coonskin cap, you had like a half vote.
Right.
But you were allowed to eat all the flamingos. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You were able to eat as many flamingos as you could eat if you got in the cage.
Yeah.
Right. Now it's just a reality show. Eat the flamingo. The fox eats the flamingo. Reality.
Now, like I'm just hoping that if we ever get into doing something else tonight, that you will look and find that story online, during the downtime because
Will's already on it. I see it.
Yeah, that's right. I'll put it up on my site. Yeah.
While you do your first song, great segue into if we ever do any music on.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I would. Music?
What do you got? Protest songs tonight?
Can you still hear this? You still hear that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. This is a song I always do for my daughter. Except I usually don't fluff it in the intro. Sing, Mama, where your pretty little girl tonight? She's trying to run before she can walk, that's right. She's growing up. She's got a young man waiting. Oh, she's growing up. She's got a young man waiting. Well, she's wide-eyed. She'll be streetwise to the lies and the jive talk. And she'll find true love and tenderness on the block. Say, Daddy, don't you ask her when she's coming home, and when she's back, don't ask where she's been. Oh no, she's going out. She's got a young man waiting. Whoa, she's going out. Can't keep that young man waiting. Well, she'll be okay. Let her have her way. It's a long way and a long walk, and she'll find true love and tenderness on the block. She's gonna find true love. She's gonna find true love. She's gonna find true love, tenderness on the block. I know how much it hurts to see her go. She's got a mind of her own, you know. She's all grown up. She's got a young man waiting. Oh, she's all grown up. She's got a young man waiting. Well, she's wide-eyed. She'll be streetwise to the lies and the jive talk. And she'll find true love and tenderness on the block. She's gonna find true love. She's gonna find true love. She's gonna find true love and tenderness on the block. You know, everybody's talking at her. She can hear what we're saying. It's a song that, like, I have just identified with my daughter for so long. My daughter's like a little bit of a whirlwind. She's like type A. She's possibly there's a chance I'm not her father. I don't know, but she is successful. She will be successful. Everybody works hard, but she works hard sort of with a purpose.
And it works for her.
We have a funny
us.
relationship. But
where does she live?
She lives in the city right now. She lives on 14th and 9th. Has a beautiful little apartment,
Nice.
like a corner apartment. So she has 2 walls of windows,
Wow.
which is sweet.
She
Oh
must
my
be
God.
rich.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
so, but there was some
That's cool.
opportunities during COVID.
Wow.
God.
Oh yeah, that
Wow.
could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't know. Like, what's the future of New York right now? Because it's so crappy on the street there, and there's all this housing, and people, the exodus is on. You look at the amount of inventory, as we call it in the business, out here in the burbs, and there's not much.
Nothing. Yeah.
And I don't know who's going to live in all those buildings. Like, what are they going to do with them? And commercial real estate, like, they're desperately hoping people come back to offices, but
Yeah.
who knows? I mean,
Yeah,
Right.
that's the scary thing. It's the same thing up in Boston. It's a big question mark over downtown where all the businesses, companies are, all the restaurants are going, it's awfully quiet around here. Is
Oh
anybody
right.
coming back?
Is New York having that too? You think?
with the restaurants,
Yeah, like because it's
you know,
New York. The whole world wants to live in New York, don't they?
I get a sense.
I did.
I get a sense that it's coming back a little bit, the restaurant thing. But there are so many restaurants, and they're predicated. Their existence is predicated on mass people. Like, saying that it's coming back
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily. It could be coming back in 60% or something like this.
Yeah.
Maybe
they-
the landlords are
And
all.
still, that's millions of. Like, I always wonder. You go down a side street in New York, and you're like, how does that little noodle place stay open?
Money
Yeah,
laundering.
yeah.
How does that Mexican place stay open? It's not like, well, they're the only Mexican place in New
Peso
York. It's like,
laundering.
no, there's like a million places. Well,
Louis
like
the Knife is laundering money through that restaurant. That's how it stays open.
Yeah.
so, Will, in Boston, is there the kind of street crime, and is there subway crime, and is there a homeless issue? Is that as acute there as it is in New York?
Is the street crime and the homeless issue? Yes, subways are actually not a well, they're dangerous, but it's because they're screwed up. The National Transportation Safety Board is working on that. But
Right.
yeah, the crime rate is up 30% up here. Same way as
Really?
nationwide.
And New York's
Yeah.
having the same thing. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wake up in the morning.
San Francisco and Chicago and LA and
Yeah.
wherever,
I mean, I have like an opossum eating the cat food. I mean, it's like that, I guess, out here. But we don't have crime out here. There's nothing going on out here.
That's a
Zero.
victimless crime, other than the guy who has to fill the bowl with the cat food. Other than that, you're the only victim in that scenario.
Nobody.
right,
I
yeah.
had skunks all winter. They seem to have left, but they
The
never
skunks.
sprayed me. I have cats. I've never walked out the door and had something lunge at me. You know what I mean? Like,
That's good. That's good. That's a good thing. Yeah. Yeah.
And if it's
I have,
like-
but that was during my divorce. So,
if in lunging at you, it's hitting you anywhere above your ankles, that's not good. Like
nothing.
if it's
No.
lunging at you, it's an otter or something. I don't know what. But,
well, my cat would climb up the screen door, and then I'd open the door, and he'd be like turn with the door. That was the closest thing that I ever had for anything lunging at me.
It's true. Although today, and this is the absolute truth, today I saw 2 lions, a tiger, a bear, a wolf, 2 wolves, a puma. We have a zoo, a wildlife center out here in the Poconos, which kicks ass. And it's in the woods. It's like going to summer camp, like little trails through the woods. And then there's like a giant bear or a giraffe. There's a giraffe named Jethro.
Right.
So I take pictures down there.
Yeah.
In cages or just wandering around?
Yeah, they're wandering around in the woods. Yeah, including a red fox. There are
It's
fox
like,
there.
okay, Boston is not as dangerous as the Poconos, just as New York.
Camel. Yeah, no. Like it's a zoo, but they're in like very like
Large spaces.
just large, giant roaming spaces, and it's not very commercial, and there are not a lot of people there. It's like I think some very wealthy person wanted to have an animal collection and opened it to the public, but it's really.
Is there a town or something that's near where you are that would have a bigger name that would be like some sort of a draw, or are you really?
Okay, so Scranton, the birthplace of Joe Biden, is 45 minutes west of here.
Thunder Mifflin. Yeah.
And Milford, PA. So I've got the Delaware Water Gap area, which is kind of a loose term for this, Poconos. And I'm way north of Bucks County. I'm like an hour and a half north of Bucks County where people go. I'm 2.5 north of Amish country.
I was in Bucks County last weekend. I was in New Hope. I was in New Hope,
That's
across
an hour
the
and a
river
half
from
from here.
Lambertsville, and it's very cute there.
You're about as close to me right now as they are. Like, that I'm way north of there. The Delaware River's near here, and it's just quiet and beautiful. There's a lot of lakes and waterfalls and whatnot. But there's this amazing zoo, and I'm a member. I'm like, how much is the membership? I'm coming here. They're like $56 a year. I'm like, okay,
I'll take it.
So I go there whenever I'm remotely over in that direction. It's between here and Scranton. It's like 20 minutes from here. I go over and bring my camera. I take pictures. I hang out with Jethro. And I said to the really pretty 18-year-old girl who's new, like her 4th day at work, and she's like, yeah, I tend to the giraffe, right? So she's standing there with Jethro, the giraffe, who really likes me. Like we get along really. He's like, oh, Ed's here. He really likes me. I swear to you. And
Ed,
everybody else, I watch him with other people. He's like, whatever. Where's Ed? Where did Ed go?
But I mean, it's kind of amazing that photo of you with him. I mean, obviously you could reach out and touch his nose.
He comes right over. Like
there are no zoos like that anywhere else.
No. He comes over, and he doesn't do it for everybody. He sticks his head through. He's got this area. He can stick his head through. Yeah, that's right. And so I say to this 18-year-old girl, I go, do you know why he's named Jethro? She goes, I have no idea. I go, could it be? I said, have you ever heard of Jethro Tull? And she's like, never heard of him, right? So I'm like, okay. I said, well, there's this band, and maybe it's Jethro Tull because he's a giraffe. And she's like,
I see what you did there.
She's like, let me ask my supervisor. She calls him on the walkie-talkie. He comes over, and I said, have you ever heard of Jethro Tull? He's like 20, right? He's like, no, never heard of Jethro Tull. So,
because to me, I hear the word Jethro, and I think Beverly Hillbillies.
Same here. I thank you. Everything relates back to childhood afternoon television. PT 109. PT 109 was actually McHale's Navy. You had that wrong. It was not Kennedy. That was
who was it? There was a Homer and Jethro was actually a novelty bluegrass band too. Back in the days when novelty songs actually charted, but they were like Homer and Jethro. But to me, Jethro is just a generic term for country hick, like that kind of
maybe. I don't know. I don't know why would
you went Jethro Tull on that.
This
an
guy's 4 years
18-year-old.
old. This giraffe is 4 years old. So somebody named him. I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. So
Well, if you come in and there's a flute in his cage, you'll know that something strange is going on.
I'm telling these kids, I'm like, so there's this rock band, and there was a guy who's a maniac, and he's got a flute, and he sings songs about like weird people that drool and like aqualung, and they're looking at me like,
Yeah.
this crazy old guy coming in talking about rock and roll. I don't even know
Kind of
what that is.
imagining that. Like, I think there was a guy. It could be real. It might not be. Who knows?
Exactly.
Ed comes down every
Revisionist
day,
history.
He talks to the giraffe every day. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I come and talk,
yeah.
and then I said to her, I said, oh, Jethro, I haven't seen him this year yet. You know, like last year I used to go and see him, and I'm like, he really likes me. She's looking at me like,
Wow.
He really likes me.
but then I walk over to the other side, and he follows me over. He's hanging out with
See?
me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you ever feed him or anything?
No,
No.
but I scratch him. I treat him like a horse. He's basically a giant horse.
Yeah,
you know?
horse with a wicked long neck. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, isn't that a song by America? A horse with long
Horse
neck.
with the
Horse
wicked
with no
long
neck.
neck.
On the first day, had the one that-
Oh my God, do
I
a
used to
song.
go quite
Say
often
about-
because I worked for probably the first 10 years of my advertising career in New York. I worked sort of in the proximity of, 57th, 58th, Madison, 5th, like around there. So
Right.
lunchtime was always the zoo. We always went to the zoo. And, I hope I haven't already told this, but maybe I have in 109 freaking episodes. Maybe I have.
That the giraffe really liked you, like had a special
No,
like-
the gorilla whose name was Congo. And gorillas are a little freaky because they look a little bit too human for you to be comfortable with looking at them behind bars. Like you look at them and you're just sort of like, and they're looking at you kind of the same way, like, yeah, right. Look at me. What? Oh, look, I have a tire to sit on. Thank you.
Right.
And there was a guy, I used to go there almost every lunch, and I would just look at him because I liked him. And, I can't say, I could tell you I thought he had eye contact with me. I thought the same thing at a Grateful Dead concert in Denver in 1971. I thought Jerry Garcia did the same thing. I don't know, but neither of those things may be true. But he seemed to have cognizance of some level. He had something. And what I loved, the greatest thing I ever saw him do, there was a man in a wheelchair, and I think it was mostly because he was very elderly, who pushed there by an attendant, and I was there, and we were there almost every day. And we had a respectful relationship with Congo. We never gave him shit. But when kids were there on like a field day, or they were there on a school thing or whatever, they're at as close as they get to the cage, and I'm like, Congo, they're doing all this. Well, I saw Congo at one point cup his friggin' urine and just the front row. He just like caught everybody in the front row, and I was just like, "You go, Congo."
I thought I was the only one that did that. That's
a statement. Yeah, there you go. That's right. Go.
Well, you were the
don't
only
go
one
within
that
10
did
feet of
that
its house.
until the injunction. You were, but after that. By the way, hanging with the 18-year-old zoologist, that's not in violation of your parole. That's not.
Exactly.
Yeah, not as long as there's a giraffe present. That's
Right.
Your chaperone.
Chaperone,
It's like
yeah.
a giraffe-erone. Yeah.
Let's talk about the giraffe. Let's talk about my python. What
Play
the
a
hell?
song. Oh no.
there we
we're not
go.
talking
Now
about-
first is the blue ball. Now we're gonna.
Now we crossed the
Hey,
line.
hey. That's your interpretation, Mulbear. It's a snake. Okay. Nothing more, nothing less. It's a snake. That's it.
Oh my God. Play a song, Bill Dolman. Save us from
All right. So
ourselves.
today is as anyone who reads anything I do on Facebook, today is one of those auspicious birthday days. Kind of day I wish was my birthday, just because it's the birthday of both Steve Winwood and Burt Bacharach. And to me, like, you have Steve Winwood and Burt Bacharach. To me, that's possibly two top 10 guys for me, and they're born on the same day. Like, I think that's amazing. So I'm going to do a Burt Bacharach song. Oh yeah, McGuire? Get your own channel, So I'm going to do a Burt Bacharach song that is my favorite Burt Bacharach song, my favorite song that he did with Dionne Warwick and Dionne Warwick was his muse. She was his conduit to the world. She was the perfect vessel to deliver what he was doing. And there were many other great vessels, but she was the perfect one. So anyway, I always loved this song. Anyone who ever loved could look at me and know that I love you. Anyone who ever dreamed could look at me and know I dream of you. Knowing I love you so. Anyone who had a heart would take me in his arms and love me too. You couldn't really have a heart and hurt me like you hurt me and be so untrue. What am I to do? Every time you go away, I always say, this time it's goodbye, dear. Loving you the way I do, I take you back. Without you I die, dear. Knowing I love you so. Anyone who had a heart would take me in his arms and love me too. You couldn't really have a heart and hurt me like you hurt me and be so untrue. What am I to do? Forgive me, Bert. Knowing I love you so. Anyone who had a heart would hurt me in his arms and love me too. You couldn't really have a heart and hurt me like you hurt me and be so untrue. Anyone who had a heart will love me too. Anyone who had a heart will really take me in his arms and always love me. Why won't you? Anyone who had a heart will love me too. Anyone who had a heart would surely take me in his arms and always love me. Why won't you? Oh my God, I just love that song.
Wow.
He's a creative guy. Burt Bacharach.
Apologies to the 94-year-old Burt Bacharach, but I will say that, in my world, he's up there with Lennon and McCartney. It's like he and Hal David, who did most of the lyric writing, and even later on when he was by himself, or working with Elvis Costello, he did a whole album with Elvis Costello that was great too. But God, he just he goes places where I don't think they teach that at Berkeley. Like where he goes, somewhere else. It's
there's
pop on its ear. Like it's like somewhere else.
It's true. Guy says
Bushino.
Guy
says hi.
This. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, love. I mean, the greatest gift to me in life probably was being born with two older sisters. So I had two older sisters, and they came home after, whatever grade they were in. I guess we were probably all in the same school, maybe in elementary school. But after that, my oldest sister was like 5 years older than me, and the other one was 3. But they would come home after school. They would turn on American Bandstand. They would dance in front of the mirror just to see like what their moves were like. They would watch the stuff. And meanwhile, I got dragged along. So when I'm 5 years old, I know who Elvis Presley is, and I know how to sing like, not sing like Elvis Presley, but sing the songs. I knew Hound Dog. I knew things like, the Everly Brothers. And it's like, if I didn't have older sisters, who the fuck knows? I mean, who knows what I would have been listening to? I don't know. Montevani, maybe. It could have been Montevani. The Ray Conniff Singers, it might have been. I don't know.
That's true. Yeah. Thank God you had hip older sisters. Yeah. That's the important thing, is to have hip older siblings.
The thing was, they also, like my oldest sister, she also, she was so, I mean, she was old enough to think that Pat Boone had it going on. No more calls. I'm afraid.
I was going to say, is that
we already have a winner.
Hello?
Will
Yes,
Mayer
I'll
has
take-
already won the chicken dinner, so please.
I'll take 2 car warranties. Both. I'll take both.
No more calls, please. Thank you. And now we go back to the Channel 13 fundraiser, the music of Burt Bacharach. Thank you.
What does that look like?
I love Channel 13 shows because it's like a male pattern baldness kind of thing. Like they could make it all just a fundraiser for people who have like, the Friar Tuck spot in the back of their head, because you're looking at them and they're watching like whatever guys are still alive in the Drifters or just the Coasters or whatever.
Right.
But the people watching them, it's just like, wow, cut that glare down, can you? Can we put a different filter on the camera now? Because right now I can't even see the stage. It's just like, that's all it is.
Sure. All right, Bill Norman, do one more for us, would you please?
Do one more and then get there.
Will you please? Yeah, I like that. It's all in the tone. Will you please?
All right, I'm
Will you
going to
please?
offer it. I'm going to offer this to the group here. Should I do one that I kind of know? Do one that I absolutely know?
Do
No,
one that we
kind of
don't
no.
know.
Kind of no. Go out on
Kinda
a
no.
limb.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
So this is a song by the band NRBQ, and NRBQ became very popular later on, but this dates back to the first time I ever saw them play, which was they played at the Fillmore East, and it was really their first big gig in New York. They opened for the first New York appearance of Joe Cocker with his original Grease band, the band that played Woodstock, and the headliner was the Jeff Beck Group with Rod Stewart, Ronnie Wood, Nicky Hopkins.
We got viewers in Asia right now.
Wow,
Welcome to
yeah.
You're looking for
Studio.
something
Sounds
refreshing.
beautiful.
I don't know if I have that
And
here,
please
but-
come marry me. I am alone and very happy to be with you.
So anyway, NREQ is a New England legend. Everybody loves this band. They're a New England legend. Their most famous quartet was really involved a guy named Al Anderson, who was from Hampton, Connecticut. He was in a band called the Wild Weeds that I knew very well from when I was a youngster. And that's kind of what people think of when they think of NRBQ. But this predated that. This was a band that would play on a given night at the Fillmore East. They would play Eddie Cochran songs. Eddie Cochran, the sort of rockabilly guy, and Sun Ra, who was like this sort of experimental jazz guy. And then they had their own stuff. And this was one of them. This was a song. And again, apologies to Steve Ferguson. Steve Ferguson was the great guitarist before Al Anderson. And this is a song called Fergie's Prayer. Will you give me life? Share it with my wife. Watch us in our home. Help us to be strong. Take away the fear. Let us see so clear. And will you do that? You will please me then. Shine us up each day. Lead us not astray. Help us see and hear. Know that you are near. Help us find the way. A better peace of mind. And what you do, you make us do what's right. Blessed is your sun. Blessed is your moon. All is part of one. Hope they see it soon. If they don't, I pray they will come someday. And when they do, they'll know we've done what's right. Will you give me life? share it with my wife. Watch us in our home. Help us to be strong. Take away the fear. Let us see so clear. And when you do, we'll know we'll do what's right.
That was definitely fun.
Yeah. This, I mean, NRBQ, for people who are fans, fun is the operative word with them. They're so fun, and they'll do anything. You know, like they'll literally do anything. But that was a song that I've wanted to play for so long. I learned it last week, and I chickened out of playing it last week. But it was like it's a great song.
So talk to me about gigs. I know. Have you started your beach duties yet, or are you like the beach czar again? And
I am doing some beach stuff. I'm doing beach cards. I'm still doing the rental of the properties where we're waiting. You know, I'm actually very busy, and there's a lot of like moving parts in this stuff. But there's also there's music stuff going on too. Like Ray Simonelli got me a gig today.
Oh wow!
Ray. God bless Ray.
That was my next question.
Magic
like, what's your
Pie,
gig summer looking
East
like?
Norwalk or something like that. Magic Pie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the place, but it's I'm playing there I'm playing this Sunday.
That's great.
But there's a bunch of things going on. I'm like, I have a couple of weekends where I'm like double booked like two things, and
I got my first double booking the other day. Amazing. I'm doing Derby Day with Mostly Green Band, and then I got Blues Patrol at the Boat Club on May 25th. So what's happening on Sunday? Where and what time?
I think the place is called Magic Pie. It's in East Norwalk, and it's from 3:30 to 6:30.
Cool.
And I don't know the place. Ray says it's a new place. I don't know it at all.
Cool.
But that's 3:30.
It just so happens I'm going to be in South Norwalk at 3:30, so maybe I'll stop by before my 4:30 rehearsal.
If you can go from South Norwalk to East Norwalk, yes, you could.
Oh, East Norwalk. Yeah, I got to be at Factory Underground at 4:30. Assassins take note. So I'll stop by your gig before that.
Well, they'll never get you because you've been to executive driving school, so they'll never really get you anyway. But I got some gig with Kurt and Helen that's in Groton.
Wow.
Like Groton with Timmy DeHuff and
cool
Joe Voss and I don't know who else, but that'll be fun.
I'm playing with Tim DeHuff on June 2nd at Yale University for some big shindig with Bob Lamont. Bob Lamont's blues band.
I love Tim DeHuff. He is a great guy. He's a nice guy, and he's a super good musician. And when we were going to have a rehearsal this weekend, and it fell through because Tim couldn't do it. And I said to Helen, if Tim's not there, we're in trouble because I rely on him because he knows everything that you do, and I sort of draft him. Like
right.
You channel him. Yeah.
I'm not leading that one. I'm behind that one. So.
Cool. So your summer. Go ahead, Will.
Well, I didn't know they had music in Groton. I thought they just had like submarines or something there, and that's pretty much it.
Well, in the town when I was born.
My favorite Beatles.
Now that you said that, it's like, how can we not play that?
How can you not do
that's
it?
right.
It'll be unusual for like a
country
Will's
version.
fourth song will
In
be
town when I was born.
There you go.
Ed, what were you going to say?
I don't remember. But I don't really care.
Will, do you play every Wednesday night? Do you have like a special thing every Wednesday night that's like this?
I have nothing special in my life.
Sunday, Will's place on Sunday night.
I have nothing special. Now I do. I have a once a month now. It's Will's Place. It's on Sunday nights. It's usually the last Sunday night of the month, but this one, for example, is Memorial Day, so something always screws it up. So I tell people on my email list, if you go to willbeard.com and sign up for my email, you can find out when the Double Top Secret show is, and it's on Facebook. But I'm actually doing live gigs now, which is like, oh my God,
Never heard of such a thing.
It's like I haven't taken amps outside of my house other than to the park for 2 years. But I'm doing 2 super COVID spreader events, which is they're both they're in
Great.
because it's college town now, right? So everyone's going outside.
Did I hear this right? Did you say super cougar spread?
Not cougar spread.
Because I
Yeah,
was
just
down with
send,
that. I'm
send them
there.
around the college bars, and they will, all the boys will have a good time. No, one is called Porch Fest. It's where bands, go out on porches all over the city of Somerville. 288 bands, and I have a porch of my own that I'll be doing. And then the other one is Mayfair, which is Harvard Square, which they claim drew 180,000 people several years ago, which I think is sort of like a Trump inauguration number. It's like 100. If you saw the place, you go like, where would you put 180,000 people? But that's the one that is potentially dangerous because if it is like a lot of people, they're all going to be like, hi, how are you? It's going to be like, no, breathe on me, don't breathe on me. Social distance. So I'm going to have a microphone, even though I don't sing. I'm going to have a microphone just to have the stand between me and other people.
The Great Wall of
We're
Ice
doing
Band.
a porch jam in Rowayton too, which is on the 11th of June, I guess. This is
Those are fun
May now.
gigs.
Past the 11th in May, right? Yeah, we're on the 11th of June.
Yeah,
And it's fun. I've done it twice before, and I really love it. And it's an hour. You do an hour.
Yeah,
and it's like
it's easy. Yeah,
barely
you're-
enough. An hour. But they're fun, and it's all over. It's Rowayton is a town that's only a mile and a half square, basically. So it's perfectly, situated for walk the thing. And the woman who
perfect for that.
arranges it, she does a brilliant job of sort of breaking it into, geographic areas and time frames so that you can kind of cruise.
Maneuver. Yeah, right.
And she, they ask for people to go online, and that's how they will, they want them to buy tickets. I suppose there's no way to control that, but they do want them to do that. I'm not sure where the money goes, but
Probably
Yeah,
goes to those
I'm
little-
doing some Porch Fest as well. Bridgeport Porch Fest or Fairfield, Bridgeport, Bridgeport Porch Fest. I'm doing it with Mill River Band again this year. That was fun last year.
yeah, it's fun. All of this stuff is fun. It's just like, don't you just want to play out? I mean,
I
I
want
Yeah,
to play
it's
out. I just played a gig with Dave Lindsay.
Hungry. Yeah,
Ladies and
God bless
gentlemen.
Dave Lindsay, who gets us out. Yeah.
Boy, did I
Dave
play a
Lindsay,
gig with
play
Dave
on
Lindsay.
music.
How you doing, Dave?
Ladies and gentlemen, Dave.
Doing all right.
Are you playing any Porch Fest or what's your how's your summer gig schedule shaping up?
My summer gig schedule is light. I do have some things going on, but it's I don't know. July's busy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
June, I got a couple things, and then we start up outside with our jam at the end of June. So
So
that's
July will
every
be
Tuesday.
really busy in July. Yeah.
July's going to be busy. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And
And
is
we're
that
starting.
Tuesday nights? Is that what that is?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
are
You
they?
got to come by, Bill.
Where's the jam?
I mean, would I, make it
Get
there?
in? Would you
Yeah,
fit in?
yeah.
You know.
If
Will
you can
anybody
make
like
it
me?
there, you can make it anywhere.
You can make it there. I went to a wedding last weekend in New Hope, Pennsylvania, and the band was pretty good. They weren't like amazing, but they were pretty good. And for whatever reason, I'm not really sure, they decided for the final song, and they played September and they played all the things you would expect the wedding band to play. And for the final song, they did New York, New York. And I don't know whether they just assumed there's a lot of Yankee fans in the crowd, or I don't know what they assumed. But oh my God, it was a train wreck. And it was a train wreck, even for, like, they just couldn't do it. Like they just messed it up. And they were very good in every other way, but it was just like the bass player went in another dimension during this time. It was fun because it was like we taught everybody, even non-musicians, were sitting there going like, wow, there's something off on that one.
Is that really the way that goes? Yeah.
I don't know if it was really off. The bass player was a half measure ahead, but other than that, it wasn't that off. You know,
was
it was
the-
like, what the
The
hell?
Indonesian version. Yeah.
Don't worry, we have viewers in Indonesia.
All of that.
You know? Feels like something out of a chorus line, kind of.
When the
One
non-musicians
singular
do something
sensation.
wrong,
Jazz hands, jazz hands.
you know it's bad when the non-musicians send something.
Yeah. When they,
Was there something off on that? Because
yeah. Something was. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
That is funny. What you got on the grill, Bill Norman? What's going? Where are you going right now?
You know, I have leftovers. You know, my wife was out of town last
Oh, my
night. And I
God.
cooked some stuff, and I got like some, quinoa salad and some grilled salmon, and it's
Sounds
a
good.
leftover
That's
thing.
Good leftovers.
No,
Still.
but believe me, I'm not like, I'm not going to starve tonight. I can tell you that. I'll be okay. But thank you.
I'll be okay.
Thank you for asking.
It's likely we'll see you
Hungry.
next week. Is that what you're saying?
Oh my God! All right,
Hungry.
everybody. Bill Norman, thank you so much. That was great. We'll
Yeah.
be right back with Will Baird, and then Sherry and her dad are coming on.
Yay!
I already see
Wow.
Jimmy.
Woo!
I already see Eric and Dave Lindsay. There's a
Now,
reason that they
Ed,
are here.
you played the gig on Monday, right?
I did.
It looked like it was fabulous. I'm sorry
It
I
was
wasn't
fun.
there.
It was super fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was so fun that Dave Lindsay quit the band afterwards.
I quit. I'll never need to play again. After
So
that
it's too
gig,
much fun.
I've never needed
That's
again.
too much
No,
fun.
it was a blast. We had a really good time. Sherry killed it, but we will be discussing that in a few. And Bill, great to see you. And we'll
Great
be
to see
right
you
back
all.
with Will Baird after this. Everybody else,
Hey.
stay tuned.
Ed, before we let Bill go, I just want to give him a shout out because we did our celebration of National Nurses Week a week early, and Bill kicked it off for us.
Yeah.
Great.
Yay, Bill.
So I just wanted to publicly thank him. Now that we're worldwide on GMTV, so everybody can hear what a great guy Bill is. And
Well,
much
it's really
appreciated.
it's hats off to you and Sky and
Yeah.
the people that make the thing happen. My only regret is that I wish I saw more nurses. Like they're
We
not
always
like that,
like
Ed. For
Right.
God's sake, get your mind out of the gutter. No, but you know what I mean. They're
I do. I know exactly what you mean. Yes.
and I don't know whether they talk about it internally at Norwalk Hospital,
Yeah.
but it would be great if if
Right.
they were there more, because you'd love to see.
Well,
them.
we'll see we'll see if and how it has another year in it. We'll find out. But yes,
Well,
it could.
frankly, they shouldn't have a problem with it much, because the price is right on their end.
Price is right. Absolutely.
That's right.
No, they definitely appreciate it. But I to your point, I really wish that you could have a better audience than just nurses like walking through the lobby and maybe turning their head for a minute. That's basically it.
Or maybe nurses sitting right behind you.
Like Lure
I
King.
still have that picture. I got to send it to you.
No, send it to me. We're sitting there, and Dave is there, and before Sky showed up and started handing out cupcakes, but Dave is there, and a woman comes up and literally sits on the chair that is 4
On
feet
the stage.
behind me, but in a corner. Like, it's really in a corner. It's like I'm kind of in the corner, and I didn't think there was room for another person in the corner.
She's
but there
deeper in the
was.
corner.
And
And
she
every
starts
other chair
talking
in the
on-
place is open, right? Every other chair is available.
you could sit anywhere you want, and she's sitting like behind me, and she starts talking on her phone in this very thick patois, like it sounds like it's straight out of Kingston, and she's
Yeah.
talking, and I turned to her and I said, I'm kind of doing something here. Are you gonna
Doing something here.
honestly, and I wasn't trying to be rude or anything, but it was just like, it was actually distracting.
Yeah.
And she was there for most of the hour, and then she moved on. But that was like hilarious. That was funny.
It's too bad it didn't leak through the mic so everyone could hear her conversation.
I stayed to her and said, "Are you going to be there?" And she's like, and the man's talking to me about the music and going to be in I'm like, it's like you're just relating to like my comment and talking to somebody else. It's like you're not even talking to me. It's hilarious, though. But anyway, Dave, always happy to do it. And again, I appreciate the efforts of you and Sky, and
I want to thank Will too, because Will volunteered to be a part of it too, and I had no idea how far away Will lives from Norwalk. And as it turned out, he wasn't able to do it. But so another thank you going out to Mr. Will Baird there.
Yeah, next year. Yeah, I definitely want to come down and do gigs down there. I'm going to start to hassle you guys behind the scenes. You're going to be getting like text messages from me.
Once we know what places are hiring,
that's right. When somebody starts booking people, it's like, I want to open for you.
Ed, is there anything on the horizon that might be
for jam stuff?
Maybe, but I'm kind of waiting to see. I kind of waiting to see what happens.
Percolating.
I'm not ready to jump on it yet, but good stuff. Anyway, we'll be right back. Bill Norman, good to see you. Dave Lindsay, hang out, and Will Baird, you're up next. We'll be right back.
Catch you later.
Will Baird, oh my God, there he is.
I'm here, and I'm like, wow, I really go with that giraffe well tonight.
I like your shirt. I've gone for monochrome today.
Yeah, I know it's it's not the usual Ed routine at all. Yeah, it's definitely not. Yeah,
I'm not like camouflaged into the background.
Yeah. So I need advice. I need advice from you and the other musicians who flash stuff on the screen. I've been asked by a hospital to do a memorial service that they do every year for people who have passed away on the staff. And the only advice that they've given me when I've said, well, what do you want me to do? They want me to do music when they're coming in, because everyone says, oh, your music is so beautiful, right? So when they're coming in and when they're going out, and they said the only thing is don't do anything that has the word hero in it, or you're going to really piss people off. Because it's like, yes, it's a very loaded word in the healthcare industry now for people who got through COVID,
Really?
That's being called heroes when no one really knew what they were, going through, and when they didn't really necessarily intend to go through what they had to go through. And then afterwards, when they're still going through it, everybody's moved on and forgotten they're wonderful heroes. So it's like, don't say hero. But I don't know how to play like remembrance music, like stuff, religious stuff. I'm just sure I'm going to like do something wrong. I'm not sure what it is. I just know you have to watch your volume. That's the only advice I've gotten so far.
Yeah.
So if you have any tips,
no hero, no volume.
Yeah, no volume. Don't play is basically it. Don't play.
Stay home.
Just don't go. We really want you to not come. Yeah.
Oh, God. All right, come on, play a song for us. Let's
all right. This is the first song I ever played on the show.
Oh, wow. Wow, that was great.
Thanks. So that
Really good.
That was the first.
Really? And you reproduced it between then and now, right?
Actually, that's pretty much the original track.
Wow, because
Yeah.
it's really that's a really good one. You know.
Yeah,
So-
it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was the acoustic guitars come in stereo. So if you're listening on, is it YouTube that's in stereo, or I can't remember whether it's that or
I don't know if they might not both be by now. Yeah.
but if you hear it, basically when I'm playing on the street, I split the guitar into two different amps, and people are walking by and they're all like, you know, when the guitars come splaying in because it's like so bizarre sounding. So I love effects like that. That's the fun thing about home production. Yeah.
It's home production. Yeah, right. Like you do home production. Even Bill Noman was watching and liked it.
These days, anyone can do home production. Whether it's any good or not is another story. So
Yeah, absolutely.
but yeah, that's the way that goes.
Really good. All right, do another one for us.
All right, I think I will.
All right.
This is not the first song I ever did on the show.
I mean, nice.
Hi, thank you.
That was great. I said nice. I went nice, but it was like,
Yeah, the timing thing, so it gets you off.
you are a big hit in Asia because I get whenever you play, I get a ton of messages.
From all these
Not
airbrushed
just
young
my
women
cat.
with Asian cats. Yeah, that's always been my market that I wanted to corner. Actually, it's
Cats
my
with
dream.
glasses. Yeah,
Asian
that's my
cats.
cat, Picky Boy. But no, you get all kinds of compliments on YouTube, on the YouTube side, not the Facebook side, but the YouTube side, and you're a
This
hit
must
in
be
Asia. You're
broader.
trending in Japan and Thailand.
God bless him. I'll have to go there if I'm ever scared of crossing time zones. Yeah, that'd
We'll
be
have to
great.
go. I've been threatening to go for years. I would love to go. Thailand. I was in Thailand as a kid, actually. My father started an airline for the Thai government, and so we went there, and we were like these like honored guests of the Thai royal family. You know, when I was like 8, and I was like,
oh boy, I'm getting on an airplane.
My little tie and my jacket, whatever, you know. But no, I grew up on airplanes. My father ran airlines, so I was on an airplane every week. You know.
What was the most interesting country you ever went to as a kid? Like, what was the most interesting memory?
Thailand and Singapore were definitely big on the list. I mean, Europe was like home. You know, I was in.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, it's like if you're from the U.S. and you go to California and Disneyland and whatnot, that's home.
Yes.
And Europe felt like home because of my mother being Austrian and you know, traveling in Europe was like that. But Thailand and Singapore were we were there for 8 weeks. But they just, in those days, they just popped you out of school. They're like, you're going, we're taking the kid to Thailand. It's better than your dumb school.
Yeah, and they'd be like, okay, you can go. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's strange. And today it would be like, well, you'll have to retake the following exams and read these books and write these papers and blah, 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 you know. So, yeah, the rules, there are many rules. I have friends who are school teachers, and they're just so miserable. I feel so badly for them.
Although I teach, you know, I never taught, but I teach electronic music, and I love it. But I'm not I don't have to report to the principal and the assistant principal and my department head, and I don't have a curriculum, a common core, whatever. I don't have any of that. I'm like, you know, I show up and they send me kids, and we have a blast in there.
Yeah. They get to focus on music. They don't ask you like the questions that they ask like the sociology professor or teacher.
No,
or, you know,
I'm not accountable to anybody.
Mr. Train, what is transgender? You know, it's like,
oh no,
ask your parents. You know,
no, I had to deal with that. One of my students, a young woman, came in one day with a short haircut, wearing like a guy's outfit, and with a whole different attitude, like the second year. And it was now a guy. She had a guy's name and whatever, and she did that for a year. And then the next year, she was back
like,
to being a girl. Yeah, it was like trying it on.
Yeah. Wow. I find it confusing. It's like in Zoom, it wants you to put in like your, his, hers, his, mine, them, his, and I know I'm going to put in the wrong thing, whatever I put in, mine, his, hers, whatever, it's like, what's wrong with that guy? I'm not woke. I'm slept. I'm
not woke.
I am not woke.
It's what my shirt says, right?
I am awoke. Anti-woke,
Exactly. Good
woke
stuff.
Free.
All right. You're going to hang out? You're going to hang out with us?
I'd love to for a while. Yeah, thanks.
All right. First thing I'm going to do, I'm not messing around here. There's Sherry's dad.
All right.
Hey,
man.
Unmute your microphone. Unmute. Click the little microphone.
Can
you now can.
I'm having trouble with the mic and the camera, but
you're having no trouble at all. I see you. You look great. And that's Will Baird, and that's Sherry's dad.
How you doing, Bill?
Hi, Sherry's dad. You raised a wonderful young woman. We enjoy her company greatly.
This guy is funny as snot, right? Like, I knew him before. Like, I met him with Sherry, and I'm like, oh, it's Sherry's dad, right? And then he gets on Facebook, and he posts, like, really funny stuff. Where do you get your material, Steve?
I guess, anywhere in my brain.
Great.
You just have the filter.
Whatever I happen to be thinking at the time. But
that's true.
I've been doing it for over 70 years, so.
That's great.
And bartending.
So what? Oh, you're bartending too. So that comes in handy in that trade, I guess, right?
I bartended. I had a bartending school.
Wow.
I have a couple of bartending sites.
Oh, that's very cool. So what did you experience at the Horseshoe the other day? Let's do it. Sherry's like, I'm going to bring my dad on. And I'm like, no, I'm going to talk to him separately.
I'm going to split you up.
So what did you experience at the Horseshoe the other day?
Oh, I loved it. I think it was a great performance by Snap, Crackle, and Pop and all the others that were there. It was an enjoyable evening. I haven't been there in years.
It was a good time. Yeah, there's Sherry. There's your daughter.
Hey, there she is.
Hiding in the
She's
background.
out there somewhere. There she is.
Yeah.
There she is.
I recognize the face.
Do we look alike?
I recognize the face.
How you doing, Sherry?
Sure.
What's up, Dad?
Are you gonna play anything tonight?
I don't think so. I think Ed's gonna play
Oh,
something
okay.
for
It's
us,
got
perhaps.
the lineup.
Yeah, Will and Eric Wire's just going to sign off.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm just kidding. Oh, now we're all mixed up. We're all over the
That's
place
right.
here.
Who's what? Where has I?
Right.
Starting,
I'm
it's starting to look
sharing.
like looks
Am
like
I, am I his, her, or
It's
them?
messing
I don't
with
know what
you.
I am. Who am I
It's
with?
messing with us all.
Oh my
Now-
God! I had a
Now
dream like
Snap,
this. the other
Crackle,
night.
and Pop are all here.
I see Jimmy, Dave, Eric. Yep.
Yay!
They
Sherry's
spelled Jimmy's
dad,
name
pleasure
right.
meeting you. Yes, they did. Yay!
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
so-
I guess my dad is officially Pop, right?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, this fits. It fits. Yeah.
He's
Seems
Pop.
right.
I'll be crispy.
It was a very enjoyable evening.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a
No,
good
I'm
time.
just-
So Sherry, so let's
Yeah.
start from scratch. Okay, so Sherry called me up and said, "You want to play with our band? We're playing at the Horseshoe, and it's a new band that's going to be playing out and doing things together."
Yeah.
And she met Eric and Jimmy. Hey guys, on JMTV. I guess you on
Yes.
JM during the pandemic, and then we all
Yes.
started knowing each other, but not that well
No,
musically.
we only met each other in person once, and it was at Mike
Really?
Baumwall's memorial thing at the boat club. That was the only
Right.
time we met each other in person.
Wow.
And so I didn't do anything musically during the pandemic. And I realized between like grad school and the pandemic, I haven't done anything, and if there was a jam, I'd show up and I'd play a few songs or whatever. Right? I'd been to the park and stuff like that, but I didn't really.
Holiday concert.
Yeah, right. I
You
played
did.
it.
Yep.
Ed played the accordion. We did some Christmas tunes. So I did little stuff like that. And I really wanted, I just really like pop music. And I know it's not a big thing for everybody, but I really like pop music. And so I really just wanted to find some people to play with. Plus, I get pigeonholed as an acoustic ukulele player, like Tiptoe Through the Tulips. And I know how to do so much more. I primarily see myself as a vocalist before a ukulele player. And the only reason I've even played the ukulele is because I know how to play it. If I knew how to play the guitar as well as I could play the ukulele, I'd be playing the guitar. If I knew how to play the bass, I'd be playing the bass. But I have no idea how to play drums, Dave. But,
Damn it.
are you to do? I can't sub for you anytime. The ukulele is what I know how to play, and I can play seventh chord and diminished chords and augmented chords and like all this stuff. I don't just do C, F, and G. So, anyway, I reached out to Eric and I was like, bring Jimmy, because Eric posted something about pop music or Taylor Swift one day or something on Facebook.
Sarcastically, or
No,
like
no,
what
it was-
percentage of
It wasn't
sarcasm?
It was
sarcastic.
more like a guilty pleasure kind of a thing.
Yeah. And I
Hey, I
remember
can
reading the
relate.
post, and I was like, I bet like Eric would play this music. I remember that's what I was thinking. And
So
then
wait. What? Who did Eric identify with?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. Wow.
Yeah.
She had a performance on Saturday Night Live that I thought was just fantastic.
Oh, is
Knocked
that
it out of
what
the park.
that maybe that's what your post was about?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And so so I reached out to Eric, and then Dave was gonna play bass, but Dave's in his own projects and he's in Alter Ego and he's like subbing for different bands and stuff. So I'm like, well, bring Jimmy. Like, let's get together and let's rehearse. And
Great.
Jimmy, you guys play together all the time anyway. And Jimmy likes pop music more than I do, I think. and
I like all kinds of music.
yeah. And then we had Henry playing with us for a while. He's been away the past couple weeks, so then I roped Dave Lindsay into it. And then I just remember telling Ed, I said, you don't want to get FOMO, you want in on this gig. And then, it was like the coolest. It was just so much fun. So I thank all of you guys for like totally indulging me in
It was a blast.
this little
It was a
pop music
blast.
dream of mine.
I love a concept group, and I love a pop-up band. I love a band.
Yeah.
First of all, I love pop. I love playing. Like, one of the highlights, I swear. I swear. No, wait. I swear. That's it. Not this. I swear. One of my highlights of running jams for 15 years, one of my highlights was doing Britney Spears with tuba, ukulele, accordion with Sherry at the
And a
Black
bass.
Duck with Dave Hurst.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I love that idea. I love taking like going and owning like hardcore polished pop music and
Yeah,
doing it as a band.
Turning it on
and
its side.
that's my dream.
Yeah, I have like a deep, disturbing version of "I Kissed a Girl" by Katy Perry.
We're gonna have to do.
It's like
pop,
in a minor,
pop
slow,
music, pop,
a lot of reverb and echo, and it sounds.
And the name
disturbing.
Snap Crackle Pop, I mean, I'm sure it's been done before, but I was just trying to think, like, what's a cool band name with the word pop in it? And then I was like, Snap Crackle
Yeah,
Pop.
it seems natural.
Perfect.
Yeah.
They're
And,
natural. Delicious.
It's
You know,
good.
and it's still a pop up band, really. Like, here's that word pop again, but it's still a pop up band because you know, I'm gonna, now that I have these clips, I'm gonna try to get some gigs wherever they'll have us, and whoever's around, I'm just gonna make a phone call, and whoever's around is great. But I think that me, Jimmy, and Eric seem to be like pretty much the core. We have
We're
Henry,
committed.
Dave sometimes on drums. We have Ed when he's in town or not in town, or
Haul them in. Yeah.
maybe Teddy will play horns with us one night or something. Like, it's just totally like a pop-up band, and whoever's around. And
Eric and I are going to do a pop-up. This is a world premiere announcement. Right? We're going to do a pop-up band because Eric went and got himself one of these.
Oh my God! No, another tiny mini thingy.
And he
cord
got one of
keys
these,
thing.
right?
Oh,
So,
and a button thingy.
Yeah,
oh
so
my Jesus!
we're gonna have.
What
to,
about the
we're-
wire thingy? Steal one of the little
we're
wire
gonna,
thingies.
We're gonna rope the band into.
We're committed
like
to fun. We're committed to
hardcore
fun.
synthesizer. We're just gonna stand there with our Behringer Crave synthesizers and be like,
Right. And our
Oh my
drum
God, you'll-
machines.
You'll look like Devo or something. That makes me nervous.
that's the move.
got someone else in here.
You know.
The synthesizer thing, that's an interesting. We should,
Hey, Dave.
because I have a couple synthesizers, and actually one of the things that I do decently on synthesizers is program drums. I just seem to have a knack for that. We should like make some new kind of craft work kind of thing, you know, just four guys standing there with their little synthesizers.
I got this one yesterday.
That's very cool.
Are you jealous? Oh yeah, that's the move.
Uh-oh, toy envy.
That's
Yeah, toy envy.
that's a drum machine.
Which one is that?
That's a Volca drum, which is an FM synthesizer set up as a drum machine. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that one's called Volca drums because they used to have one called Volca beats.
Yeah, so they had Beats, which was a drum machine, and then this
Right.
one. Look, there's this world of FM synthesis, and people are like, oh, that's like the DX7. I know all about that, right? Nobody understands FM synthesis. Nobody understands FM synthesis. And so what they did was they've come out with the Volca FM and the Volca, but this is the one. The Volca drum is basically an FM synthesizer that's like pretends to be a drum machine, but it's pretty cool. I was like blowing my mind with it last night. So
Sick.
I think
Hey.
Eric posts a synthesizer video every day now, or
Very
whatever you
cool.
call it.
Not every day, but
He's hooked. He's hooked.
I just started messing with it, and it's like, oh, that sounds cool. Let me record that. Because the thing is, once you get a cool sound, you're not going to get that sound again. You turn the thing off, you'll never get it.
You'll never get it again.
that's right, you
Yeah,
know,
it's
because
like getting-
because you make the sounds by plugging in wires,
Yeah.
you know, like that's how you control it. And so, you know, like the chance of duplicate, it's not like you go, oh, I'm going to store this in the memory and then do it later.
Yeah,
No,
no,
you're
yeah.
not,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Well, I would assume you take an audio, at least sample of what you did, and then you can play
Yeah.
with that. And
Yeah, that's the idea. That's why I started live streaming my stuff in the middle of the night, you know, to you know, and to not make everybody
I
psychotic.
thought you were having a breakdown there for a minute, Ed.
True.
Like, we're gonna-
Somebody
But-
please sample Jimmy.
Were you serenading the cats too at the same
That's
time?
right.
Were
Oh,
they
my
grooving on
cats are a little from the electronic music, you know.
yeah, that's right. They're all
Actually,
run and
there's
hide.
a thing. There's a thing now where it's something like go on Google and type in like cats in outer space with synthesizers, and there's this thing where like a million people post pictures of their cats with synthesizers playing in space with like Hubble Space Telescope in the background.
Ed, I'm worried about you.
People have way too much time, man.
We need to have an intervention.
You should be. You should
We need
be
to get you
worried.
back to
Hey,
Connecticut.
you guys,
Yeah.
I gotta run, but I just want to say for the record, before Ed starts a bad rumor, that I love playing with you guys. I had such a blast on Monday. If you guys know my other bands, Grateful Dead, All Star, okay, and like Smoking Charlie's a classic rock jam band. It's as far from pop music as you could possibly get.
I know.
And I told Sherry up front, like, I'm happy to play, but I can't probably be in this in the long term. But it was a great time. I love all you guys.
Fun.
I'll play with you
And-
anytime, Dave. You were awesome. You were
Thank you.
awesome.
You got it,
Anytime.
man. That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Anytime.
All right,
I'll see you guys
Lindsay,
soon,
I'll see you in a
All right,
bit.
brother.
Okay.
Bye.
There you go, Dave
Can
Lindsay.
the electronic people sample Jimmy's laugh and do something with that?
Surprised my son hasn't done it yet.
Go ahead, Jimmy. Go laugh right now. Go ahead, right now.
He's going to refuse.
Yeah, I like your case.
Oh yeah, you can't get these anymore. These are like special pocket
Wow.
operator cases from like Eastern Europe, but they don't make them anymore. Yeah,
I just have this piece of rubber.
exactly. Yeah, case envy. You know,
Yeah.
this is my latest. If you want to envy toys, this is my latest. That's a Moog synthesizer, and I got red knobs for it.
Wow.
Ooh. That's a
Special
very
red knobs. Yeah.
simple.
You're
red, black, and
hypnotizing
red.
Eric here, Ed. You're going to
Eric's
steal
like-
them away from
Eric's
us.
like Amazon. Buy,
Yeah.
buy.
The reason I got what I did was because it's actually pretty inexpensive, and it's like you could spend years learning how to use this stuff.
But see, here's the thing. That's what they do. They go, you don't want to buy a $1,000 synthesizer or a $2,000 synthesizer. You can buy this for $100. And then the next week they're like, or you could buy this for $100. Or you could buy this for $125. That was $125, and then you get this one for $100. And then, so now you got $3,000 worth of $100 synthesizers
Yeah,
all
yeah.
over. the place.
Yeah. Previous behavior is the best determinant of future behavior.
That's it. And it's like they're like drug dealers because they go, oh, he bought that thing. Oh, he's ready for this.
He's ready for this.
He's ready. Like
Double the price and send him the ad.
he didn't even, I never even heard it existed. And all of a sudden, their little video shows up, and they're like, some guy going, and you're like, I gotta have that.
I gotta have that.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah,
got you. They got you. All right, so Sherry, so tell me more about Snap, Crackle, Pop. How did the song list materialize, or what's your concept for this band?
They were just all songs that I just really wanted to play, not even at a jam, but with a band, and Ed, like you've hosted a million jams that I've been to. There's like a full band up there, and then I come up and everybody sits down. And I'm always like, where's the band going?
I want a band.
And they're not doing it to be mean. They're doing it because they think I prepared like a solo ukulele.
Right, yeah,
Like
solo
a lot of people who play like ukuleles and singer-songwriters and stuff, that's what they do. So the band sits down, and I'm like, no, I want to play with other people.
Stand up.
Yeah.
I got it. Look, we already joined your cult, okay? We're already in your
No,
cult
I
now.
love it.
You're the cult leader, and we
are the Sherrys. Yes, that is. We are the Sherrys. We are Sherrys.
And my dad joined the cult 48 years ago.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah. So
You did
no,
a good
these were
job,
all
Pop.
Yeah.
And so when I did go to a jam and there was a back line or whatever, it had to be like the easy 4-chord over and over again song. So I had like a whole back pocket full of those songs. But then there's like other songs that we did on Monday night that like there's no way we could have done unrehearsed.
Mhm.
Ed could do it unrehearsed. Ed did do it unrehearsed. But Jimmy and Eric and
can't.
Dave came over and we did practice.
I can't even do it rehearsed.
I know. So,
Oh, don't worry. I may pretend I'm not practicing, but I like get your list and I listen to it.
Going through it.
you can hear that because I can hear you doing the riffs and stuff. And it's funny, the only like I always try to do everything from memory. I try not to look at an iPad or anything like that. And the only time I messed up was when we were singing Picture, which I love that song from Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow. And I sang the first 3 lines, nailed it, and I just hear Ed, who was sitting right behind me, yell in my ear, "Yeah!" I looked around.
And you went like, I forgot the words.
I forgot all of the words instantaneously, and then I started singing Eric's part, and then I
Mental
sang
blocks fell.
All right, Sherry, we're losing your dad. He's going to Amish country tomorrow. He's going to go to the Amish buffet. And you know what? I'll see you down there. I'm coming down there tomorrow. That's
Amish
it.
buffet.
I'll see you at the Amish buffet tomorrow, Steve Dobrin.
I'm gonna be there too tomorrow.
You are?
Yeah.
I'm coming down. You go to the Amish buffet?
Yeah, of course. I'm only going for one night, but anyway.
Wow, that sounds good. Steve, I'll let you go so you can get up early, but we're going to play the music video. I hope you have a chance to watch it. Good to see you. I'm glad you can make it.
Yeah, Dad, stick around and watch the video if you want. You're gonna play it now, Ed?
Yeah, I'm going to play it now.
All right, stick around if you want. If not,
There we go. So let's see what we got here. Let's see. Tell me about this song. I got Dreams, and set it up for us.
Well, Dreams, just a Cranberry song that I happen to want to sing. I do have a vocal pedal, which I liked doing because there's a lot of vocal harmonies in that song. Dave is so bored. He's leaving now. Where are you going?
I did.
Dave's leaving with a cup of coffee. So, it's just like, I do put thought into the set list, even if I'm doing a 3-song set, like what's going to grab the audience and what's going to, so you want that bell curve, you want to bring the audience in and then bring them out. And, so Dreams.
And then rile them up right at the end, like we did with Walk Like an Egyptian.
And then the encore. It's got to be like something. That's why we did Walk Like an Egyptian as the encore, because I wanted, my vision was and it happened, was that everyone at the horse show was going to go, oh, hey, oh,
They did. Everyone was doing it. It was great.
So, yeah. So with Dreams, it's, it's just a song that I like. But if you hear Jimmy edited, I don't know if this is Jimmy's audio or my audio, but with my audio, the first thing you hear in that song is some girl going, "Oh my God, I love this song."
Yes.
Right.
Oh, that's why I was torn between should I use the audio from my own phone or the crowd audio, because the crowd audio was cool too. But anyway.
Right, and that's my goal. My goal is just to play any song. What's funny is the songs that I like to sing aren't songs that I listen to. You know what I mean? I don't listen to this stuff. But I really like to sing it. Like, I don't listen to Sheryl Crow, or Kid Rock.
Or Sheryl Row.
Or Sheryl Row, whoever she is.
Yeah.
But I love singing that song. And, and like, I just feel good, like, singing pop music. So anyway.
And you do it so well, my dear.
Yes, you do. All right, here it is. Here with no further ado, Dreams, Snap, Crackle, and Pop at the Horseshoe.
Come on. 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
That was great.
That was fun.
It was a lot of
A
fun.
lot of fun.
The best part
Yeah,
of
really,
that
it's-
gig was when my ukulele battery really did die. With 3 songs left. And I was like, I just put it down. I said, all right, you guys got this. And we did one song that none of us rehearsed. And none of us knew. And I was like, but you know what? If I thought about it, I was telling Eric afterwards that, like, if I thought about it, I would have just asked to borrow his guitar on the fly. Because I could have played it on the guitar.
Well, then we started thinking up ideas, right? For hey, let's pretend like your ukulele battery dies, and start. Eric passes your guitar, and I pass my bass to Eric, and then I sing.
Jimmy plays the ukulele. Oh, it's working! Whoa, look!
Ed could sit at the drum set.
Oh, nobody wants that. Yeah.
No, Trevor stays where he is. Trevor doesn't switch instruments.
Nobody wants that.
The last 3 songs of it, like, again, because, you know, aside from that one song, because we had rehearsed it, I was able to just put the ukulele down, and it really didn't matter. Like Walk Like an Egyptian and
Oh yeah, we
Lady
rock.
Marmalade and
Well, you guys, yeah, they had very full sound. It's amazing. I was like counting the people, going, well, how many instruments are there?
Yeah.
I think when you have like a big fat sounding rhythm section, you know, that big bass and it like
Keyboard,
you don't need a whole lot more, you know, for it's comfortable. Yeah. So
and that audio was from Jimmy's camera, which was set up right behind him. And
it
so,
sounds great.
So you could hear the bass better because on what she was picking up in the outside, you saw in the video early on in the thing that the sound guy's telling me to turn the amp up because he couldn't hear the bass, and I couldn't hear it either at the beginning.
You're a
Anyway,
gentleman. You're a gentleman bass. A lot of bass players are like, watch me.
Yeah.
But I want to hear more of you. I want you to turn up, you know, like that's especially in this music. You want that bang, you know.
Yeah.
No, I hear you. And actually, the Rick is perfect for it. It's got that kind of, you know,
cuts right through.
Cuts
Rhythm
through,
by the
yeah.
sound. Yeah.
Yep.
And I love that I can use tremolo and envelope filter and all that stuff, right?
It sounded so good.
It did. It was sweet. I had a blast. I can't wait to do more.
Yeah.
So now all we need is 25 more songs.
Yeah. Well, I have 25 easily, so I just gotta make sure these go. But we have our rehearsals planned. We're gonna continue to rehearse and put some more songs together, and it'll be fun. And then I'm just gonna like send videos to like random venues and see who will take us and whatever.
I already pinged Henry's in Bronxville. I said, "Hey, we can do a trio."
Well, that's cool. Like we could do a trio. Yeah. Like that's the thing is I'm so laid back with this project and I'm so game with anything that I just want to have fun with it. How about girls just want to have fun?
Yes.
All that. All
I
that.
think I put it on the list. It's
I
all
just
good.
want to have fun. What song could we possibly do?
You said you wanted to do some B-52s because I don't
Oh,
mind singing
God, that would
also,
be great.
You know, but
Yeah.
I was fun singing.
All right, don't give away all our secrets now. We got some stuff cooking.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the double top secret material.
Don't worry, nobody's watching.
They'll catch us in
Nobody's watching.
the reruns.
So says our host. Yeah.
Super
Yes,
good. Well, I
Steve.
look forward to playing some sort of role in this band in the future, and you know we're gonna be playing all over. It's gonna be fun.
And
Yeah,
synthesizer, we're gonna warm up with synthesizer jams.
Thank you, Ed, for being part of this too. It's just like it's always a blast.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
It's
So,
fun.
so Eric and Jimmy, do you have other musical projects going this summer as well?
Yes, we do.
Really? Tell us about that a little bit.
We've been busy. I mean, we have it's a band called Breakwater. We finally decided on a name. It's 5-piece. It's Eric, myself, drummer Chris Minnell, who filled in for Mikey when we did the gig over Labor Day,
Right.
and Michael Biscelli, who's a really great guitarist in a band called Band of Brothers, who we've jammed with on and off over the years, and good friend. And it just all seemed to click, and the music sounds great. It's all cover stuff. It's kind of yacht rock with a splash of reggae.
That's very cool. All right, wait. So for those people who don't know what yacht rock is, tell us a little
Yeah,
bit
what
about
is that?
yacht rock.
I don't know. Steely Dan, Neil Young.
It's the kind of music that boomers listen to on their yacht.
There
Yeah,
it is.
pretty much. Yeah,
Okay.
pretty
The
much.
Eagles, Steve Miller
Eagles,
Band.
yeah.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
Like a deadhead
One
sticker on a Cadillac is one thing, and yacht rock is another thing. Yeah.
yeah,
Van
exactly.
Morrison, you know.
Yeah. When the guys are going in the boats past you up the Norwalk River, headed out in the big boat
Right.
with the two chicks on the front. And,
Jeff Bezos and his $700 billion yacht,
Right, right.
It's basically 70s adult contemporary music.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
Yeah, so you got to have like some Seals and Crofts and some English.
Yes, yeah, you got it.
Somebody-
You've got it. You've got it.
America. We've got Tin Man.
Yeah.
Do Tin Man.
Whoever they are.
And then we have like a couple of one-hit wonders like How
Hold On
Long by
Ace.
Ace.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great tune.
Yeah, it is a
song,
great
yeah.
thing.
And,
I love the bass.
Brandy, You're a Fine Girl. Brandy.
I always wanted to play, and I'm so glad we're playing it. I love it.
Well, keep us posted where you guys are playing too, so we could come and see that.
Tentatively, we'll be playing June 25th
Oh,
at
that's
Carmine's Deli in Elm.
25th or 24th?
It's the 25th, Saturday night.
Okay.
Tentatively, it hasn't been announced yet, but
Very cool. I have a
what
double
we're
gig
rehearsing.
that day. I have 2 reasons I can't make it.
But I want to go to Carmine's. Man, that's cool.
hey, we're playing the deli,
Really?
baby.
Eating a pastrami on rye, going, yeah, this
It's
is
an Italian deli. Sorry.
Oh.
Oh, what good is that?
I mean, you could probably get pastrami on rye, but it's not what you're thinking.
Oh, I know.
It's not cats.
Carmine's not Jewish.
Carmine's is more like chicken parm hero.
You're making me hungry. I haven't had my dinner
Some
yet.
gabagool.
Good stuff. All right, everybody. That's Jam TV for
Well,
this
wait a
week.
minute. That's just one of the music projects. I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay. I thought that was it. What's the next one you got?
I'm in a 4-piece grunge quartet called Happy Lane.
Quartet.
Called Happy Lane and his
Yeah.
grunge?
Happy Lane's grunge quartet.
And what kind of stuff are you doing?
Like Foo Fighters and
Nirvana
and stuff like that. Yeah, Pearl
Sounds
Jam and it is fun because I like to play some heavier stuff too. Eric can attest. My roots were kind of heavier feel, and a lot of the stuff I play now is,
Yacht rock.
yacht
Yeah,
rock
exactly.
and Dead and Allman Brothers, which I love. Don't get me wrong, I like that stuff, but sometimes it's really nice to really, and so that's been fun. It's with a guy I've jammed with on and off for years, a guy I know from work, and he brought in a drummer and a guitarist that are excellent.
Cool.
And so it's low pressure. We get together once every other week, and we'll do an open mic or two once a month, and that kind of thing.
What open mics are you going to in Westchester? What's the Westchester crowd doing these days?
Well, we were up at Sugar Hollow, which is a Danbury,
Right.
Yeah, and I haven't talked to Frank. I'd like to do his open mic over at was that the link? What's the name of that place he does?
Club London.
Club London. That looks like a nice venue. I'd like to check that out.
Yeah.
Tom from your band, he lives in Connecticut, though, right?
Yeah, he lives in Ridgefield.
Yeah, so that's why they're not gonna play in Westchester. They're gonna play in Connecticut.
Got it.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember I've met Phil at he's in that band, right? I met him
Yeah,
at-
Phil. Yeah, he's a great drummer.
Yeah, he lives in Connecticut too, I think.
Yeah, all those guys
They're all
live in
from that
Connecticut.
right around there.
I used to live up in Connecticut, right? I used to live up in Norwalk.
Oh yeah.
And Sherry, my daughter is like 3 blocks from where you live. My
Oh,
daughter,
how funny.
Kaylee, yeah.
Oh.
So the next time I come up for rehearsal, I'm going to try to leave early so I can have dinner with her.
Yeah, definitely.
Very
Yeah, that's nice.
So now,
So
what
those
other
are-
band
now-
are you in?
Yeah.
And then
third
I'm in an all original trio called Hot Pizza,
Right.
which was we were really hot at it for a while, and now things have kind of cooled down. In part because I'm doing all these other things. But I really enjoy that because it's original stuff, and so you get to make it whatever you want it to
And
be.
what is it like? What does it feel like? What kind of?
It's cross between Buddy Holly and I don't know, Eric. How would you describe it? Papa Billy.
Talking Heads plays rockabilly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's
Oh my God.
some of the stuff is really light, like my pink Camaro, my pink Camaro, stuff like that. And there's some stuff that's kind of dark and got an edge to it, which I really like.
I like that too. That sounds great.
Yeah. Jimmy,
Anyway, it's been fun. And to be honest, I was saying it, I think I texted it to you guys. All of this, for me, I thank God every day for Mikey Baumwell, because I met all of you because of him. And I learned how to do what I did on Camtasia so I could send you that file today because of him.
Right.
And it's been, I feel like I'm 17 again. I'm in bands and having fun. And it's
great.
Nothing like music.
It's
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
like it. And I have him to thank for a lot of it, and Ed and Eric and Sherry and Dave and Will. I love your stuff. We're gonna jam someday. I'll tell you, when you were playing the Wichita Lineman, I was like, oh, Billie Jean, but the Wichita Lineman. I've always enjoyed that song, and I'd love to play along with you. That
would be a blast. I love
would
it.
be great, man.
I'll
And
come
you know
down
what?
with.
This Connecticut scene is like so great.
It
Let's all have like a little like tree hugger fest right now. But I feel grateful for it too, because I've been to other open mics. I lived in New Jersey, and everyone's like, "Yay, that was very nice what you did." I've never met a group of people where everybody wants to jam on everyone else's music. Everybody wants to play with someone else, expand their repertoire, learn a new genre, learn a new song. And everyone's like, yeah, you let me know what, especially before COVID, it was always like, let me know like what night you're going and when you want to try this song, and we'll try this song. I never play this band, but let's try it. And like every single person wants to play with every other person. I've never seen anything like it before.
Yeah, I want to find a studio, and I don't mean a recording studio. I mean a studio apartment, so that I can come back down and be like there like a 1 week out of the, sort of like Ed, and like 1 week out of the month, and start playing music down there. Because Boston's been great, I love it, it's wonderful, but the music scene in Fairfield County is really unique. It's not like a big city. It's people. Everybody wants to help everybody else out.
Yeah.
You're on a gig, I'll help you get a gig.
More of a
Talk to so-and-so.
community. Yeah.
And
Everyone's
it's,
like, oh, you know what? You should call this bar down the street because they love your type of music, and they would have you there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys know who Victor Wooten is, the bass player from Nashville. You know him, Jimmy?
Yeah, I know the name. Yeah.
So, he wrote a book called The Music Lesson. I heard of it from Teddy Yakish, and then I read it, and then I gave a copy to Dave, and he read it. And it's just like it's about music, but it's also about life, and it's about like how natural and organic music really should be. But one of the things he says, and I feel like as a music scene in Fairfield County, we're really good at this. He said the pros and the amateurs always have to play together. And he goes, because he's like, it's the same thing. He goes, if you're talking to a baby, he's like, you're not going to wait until that baby learns to speak full sentences before you include the baby in a conversation. You're gonna talk to the baby, and the baby's gonna try to talk to you, and eventually you're talking together in the same language. Yeah. And he said that's how it is with music. He goes, the professionals can't be like, oh, you've only been playing for 6 months or a year or whatever, and the amateurs have to,
That's what that even before the pandemic, for over a decade, I would go to a jam, and there was a few core people that would always be there, but there was a lot of people coming in and out of varying abilities. Some really great players, and some, but it was fun. Everyone was having fun. For me, that's what it's all about. When we stop having fun, I'll say goodbye. I love playing music. I love interacting with people, and I love creating things. It's just fun.
And I love Jam TV. Woo-hoo!
There you go. And if you want to work on your chops, I don't care who you are, a beginner or an advanced player and all that. You play with other people. Play with people that are going to do things you don't expect them to do. Yeah. And like you're like, oh God, there's a bridge coming, and I'll bet you those 3 people don't know it. How am I going to communicate to them that it's happening and make it work? And somehow you figure out how to do that. It makes you a better player.
It does. It does. And a better listener.
Doesn't always work.
Jimmy with the hat. Hey, Change is coming.
D.
And then everybody's going like this to Henry.
Right. I have seen so many people. For those of you watching who don't know Henry, Henry is our good friend who's a blind drummer, really blind. And I've seen singers turn around to Henry at a jam and go, and they go like, they end the song and Henry keeps playing, and they're like, and he's just staring at them, right? And I'm like, oh God. So I get up from the keyboard and I walk over and I go, hey Henry, we're ending that song. He's blind, all right?
All right, I know you're trying to run, Ed, but can I just plug a couple gigs?
Yes, you can. I'm game. Shoot, what do you got?
Alter Ego, May 14th, Gates Restaurant. That's a Saturday, New Canaan.
Cool.
June 18th, Alter Ego, the Marketplace Kitchen and Bar, which is Bridgeport Avenue in Shelton.
Nice.
June 25th, I'll be sitting in with Blues Patrol at the Boat Club.
Right.
And
Me
July
too.
15th is Alter Ego at Carl Anthony's, and then I won't go any further into the future than that, and that's in Monroe.
Must be nice to have
Awesome.
all those gigs.
Go.
Yeah.
That's why I can't go to Carmine's. Otherwise, Carmine sounds like a fun. Yeah, got to be eating my chicken parm and whatever, my antipasta salad and
Gabagool.
yeah.
And then I'll be out with Tin Sandwich again after June 25th.
Very cool.
Whatever Chris picks
Where's
up.
my gavel? Okay, this is my gavel, right?
Good night, everyone.
Anybody have
Any
something to say?
additional promos required?
Going
Sponsorship.
once. Going twice. Good to see everybody from JV. See you next week. Show
Thank you.
right
Take
here.
care, peace, love, music.
Bye, guys.
Take care, all.
Later.
Cheers. how to drop now.
Yeah. Take it.